Live from ABC7, this is Eyewitness News at 7 p.m. on LA56.
An hours-long standoff that locked down a Santa Monica neighborhood comes to an end. The suspect is in custody as residents are allowed back into their homes.
Government cars set on fire, the dramatic scene in Ventura County.
And getting ready for Oscar Sunday, we get a look at the final preps, plus the threat of rain on the big day. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jory Rand.
I'm Giovanna Lotta. Welcome to Eyewitness News on LA56, LA's only live local newscast at 7 p.m. So get ready for the rain. A storm is moving into Southern California. Danny Romero is tracking it and tells us what we can expect. Danny.
Thanks very much, Giovanna. And Jory, we're looking at the live Mega Opera 7000 HD. Right now, things are clear in our area, but there are clouds moving in. And as those clouds get closer and closer, bringing precipitation with them, we're going to watch that on the live Mega Doppler 7000 HD over the next few hours, tonight into tomorrow. But we can look outside with some live cameras set up all over SoCal. Our LAX camera, live in HD, gives you a really clear shot of how cloudy things are down on the coastal areas. Most spots on the coast under some very thick cloud cover right now as we speak. We swing our camera over to more of the inland spots, and there too we're seeing clouds over our Irvine Spectrum cameras. So Orange County also on the cloudier side now here on early Saturday evening. And temps are very mild. The clouds tend to hold in any kind of daytime heat, so you don't see any real drastic changes in the numbers. So we're seeing pretty mild numbers at the moment. 60 in Ontario, 58 for Riverside right now, a cooler 53 for Hemet. Palm Springs, of course, the desert, always a little bit warmer. 71 there right now. But look at Big Bear, 40 degrees right now. We're showing Wrightwood at 54 degrees. And towards the coast we go. And the other numbers are on the cool side with clouds in place in Santa Monica, 59. At Oxnard, 61 degrees. Inland, still some cool spots. Van Nuys at 59. We're showing same 59 for Burbank as well. So the clouds move in tonight. Mostly cloudy skies. 56, the overnight low. And then we're going to see that rain start to make its way to Southern California. As it does that, we'll see how much we get, especially for tomorrow and into Monday as well. I'll tell you about that with a 7-day on the way. Jory, Giovanna, go.
Danny, thanks. Well, work crews at the Dolby Theater are preparing for rain on the red carpet now.
That's right. The tent is up less than 24 hours before the Oscars. Eyewitness News reporter Melissa McBride is live outside the Dolby Theater with a look at the final preparations. Melissa.
And Giovanna, shortly crews will be vacuuming the red carpet. They'll do so again overnight, and then in the morning they will touch it up. And the carpet will be covered by these rain tents that you see here. There are a total of 10 canopies, and the folks who are in charge of the arrivals and the pre-show are not going to gamble and take a chance on taking it down because we do have rain in the forecast, as you heard Danny mention. Now, those canopies, they are here to cover the stars when they arrive, and there are actually an extra 30 people who've been hired to man these tents. The finishing touches with paint and a roller were underway earlier this afternoon, and media from around the world rehearsed for their pre-Oscar coverage. Sunday is Hollywood's biggest night to honor achievements on screen, but before the golden statues are handed out, all eyes will be on the stars and what they're wearing. I talked to model and fashionista Rashumba Williams about what we can expect to see tomorrow.
When it comes to color, there's one color that has stood out on the red carpet this season. It has been different shades of purple. We saw Keira Knightley in a beautiful purple gown, and also Reese Witherspoon in a plunging plum Stella McCartney that was amazing. So I'm looking in that sort of jewel tone color palette with a big focus on purple.
And check out this time-lapse video. In order to get the red carpet ready for the A-listers, people have been working for several days and long hours to transform this block of Hollywood Boulevard between Orange and Highland. This year's setup does not include any flowers lining the red carpet, but instead it has more of a techie kind of feel. There are several digital screens that you'll be seeing tomorrow afternoon. Our coverage on ABC7 begins at 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Reporting live in Hollywood, I'm Melissa McBride, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Melissa, thank you. And just in time for the Oscars, DirecTV customers will now also be able to take advantage of the Watch ABC app. Along with AT&T, Uverse, Charter, Cox, Dish, and Verizon Fios, now with your DirecTV account, you can watch Eyewitness News and your favorite ABC shows on your mobile device. Just download the Watch ABC app or go to abc.com. Select the Watch Live section for an episode with a verified to watch symbol.
An hours-long standoff comes to an end with the suspect surrendering and happened on Ocean Park Boulevard in Santa Monica. Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies say after firing tear gas, the suspect began to come out, but then went back inside. That's when they sent in a canine who brought the suspect to deputies. He was treated for his injuries, the suspect was. Authorities say that suspect is wanted for a murder investigation earlier this month. During today's barricade, SWAT team members evacuated nearby homes and apartments and then fired that tear gas into the unit, getting the suspect to surrender.
We woke up this morning to the sound of the officers telling the suspect to come out with his hands up. He would be safe if he came out. And we were like, this is not the TV.
You see it on the news, you see it in television and movies and everything, but until you're actually confronted with it, you don't know. You don't feel the panic going on, the fear for your life.
The scene there remains closed off as the investigation is ongoing.
Ventura County Sheriff's deputies arrested a man for allegedly setting 5 cars on fire at a government center. Now investigators are trying to figure out a motive. Officers leaving the pretrial detention facility in Ventura noticed the fires about 4:15 this morning in the parking lot of the government center. A short time later, they arrested Jeffrey Landis. Investigators say the torched cars are all believed to be unmarked county vehicles.
They called deputies over. Deputies showed up on scene. There was a subject, a male adult, at the scene here near where the fires were started.
The suspect sustained minor injuries. Deputies also found a backpack near the scene of the fire, and they feared it could contain a bomb. The bomb squad responded but found no explosives.
Community rights activists led a march through South Los Angeles today to rally for justice and equality and to remember Ezell Ford, an unarmed man fatally shot by police last August.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
Organizers of today's march are calling for special prosecutors to look into police shooting deaths across the country. They're also demanding the end to what they say is a rise in police brutality and racial inequality.
A driver is now facing DUI charges after leading CHP officers on a high-speed chase. The pursuit started on the 605 freeway in Whittier just after 2 o'clock this morning. The driver reached speeds of up to 85 miles an hour through several cities, including Baldwin Park, Azusa, and Duarte. About 30 minutes after, the chase finally ended in Glendora. The driver went down a dead-end street and was arrested without incident. In El Monte, a CHP officer's car caught fire after a hit-and-run crash. It happened around 2 a.m. on the 10 freeway near Peck Road. The CHP says an officer was handling an incident on the shoulder when a minivan and a car crashed. The van flipped onto the patrol car, causing the officer's vehicle to catch fire. The officer wasn't hurt, but the driver of the van was taken to the hospital. The driver of the car took off and is still on the run.
A member of the Mexican mafia set to be released from prison tomorrow will instead stay behind bars. Governor Jerry Brown blocked his release last night, citing the inmate's violent criminal past. 52-year-old Renny Enriquez is serving a life sentence for drug dealing, gang rape, and murder. But the state parole board says he's now reformed and recommended his release. The governor says Enriquez is still in unreasonable danger to society if released.
Some disappointing news for students in the Los Angeles Unified School District hoping to receive a laptop or tablet. Superintendent Ramon Cortina says he doesn't believe the district has the money to complete its goal of providing every student with a laptop or tablet computer. Cortina says he remains committed to providing students access to technology, but is concerned about other critical facility needs that must be met. He added that the funding is just not available to provide computers to everyone in the district.
That long, bitter labor dispute at West Coast seaports appears to now be over after a tentative contract agreement between dock workers and their employers. Negotiators reached a deal that calls for a 5-year contract. The agreement comes after 9 months of negotiations that led to a backlog of goods at the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach. The deal must now be ratified by dock workers. It still could take several months for the ports to clear the backlog of shipping containers.
The ceasefire in Ukraine appears to be mostly intact as the Ukrainian military and Russian-backed separatists exchanged nearly 200 prisoners earlier today. That exchange is part of the ceasefire agreement that took effect last week and saw 139 Ukrainian soldiers and 52 rebel soldiers returned overnight. But both sides are accusing each other of violating the agreement. Ukrainian authorities displayed weapons they say were provided to the rebels by Russia. It is still unclear how many more prisoners each side has. Meanwhile, in London, Secretary of State John Kerry met with his British counterpart. Kerry and British Foreign Secretary Philip Hammond are discussing new sanctions against Russia. The U.S. and the U.K. want to punish Russia because of their actions in Ukraine. The two-hour talk ended without any definitive plan. The biggest hurdle for any sanctions against Russia is the fact that Europe is much more dependent on the Russian economy than the U.S. is.
German Chancellor Angela Merkel discussed the conflict in Ukraine with Pope Francis during a private audience at the Vatican. It was the second meeting between the two since Francis was elected Pope. The pontiff also talked about the fight against poverty with the German leader. Pope Francis presented Merkel with a medallion of St. Martin, telling the Chancellor it's a reminder to world leaders to protect the poor.
New U.S. Defense Secretary Ash Carter is making his first overseas trip since being confirmed just 8 days ago. Carter arrived today in Kabul to meet with the U.S. military leaders, troops, and Afghan leaders there. He says the U.S. is considering slowing its military exit from Afghanistan by keeping a larger than planned troop presence this year and next because the new Afghan government is proving to be a more reliable partner.
That is one that will be Iraqi-led and U.S. supported, and it's important that it be launched at a time when it can succeed. And so I think the important thing is that it get done when it can be done successfully.
Carter says no decisions have been made, but President Obama will discuss a range of options for slowing the U.S. military withdrawal when Afghanistan's president visits the White House next month.
Still ahead, Chinatown celebrates the Year of the Ram with the 116th annual Golden Dragon Parade.
Plus, astronauts step out for the first of 3 planned spacewalks, what they're hoping to accomplish.
And yet another winter storm crippling much of the U.S. A look at the nasty conditions across the country next. Another severe winter storm is gripping nearly half of the country. One system stretching from Missouri to the northeast is creating dangerous conditions for drivers. ABC's Lindsay Janis has the latest on the winter weather that just won't quit.
There's not much that's scarier than this.
He's going to hit that red car.
Cars, trucks, even school buses careening out of control down ice-covered roads. And if they're not sliding, they're stuck. Check out this traffic jam on I-65 in Alabama. Drivers left in their cars overnight.
I've been here about 12 hours with my car in park. This is a solid ½ inch to a 3/4 inch.
Neil Johnson used Skype to show the conditions on the pavement. The surrounding county closed all of its roads, leaving people in their vehicles trying to stay warm and save gas. For the lucky ones who made it off the roads, no vacancy at area hotels. Many left camping out in the lobbies. Up in Indiana, the roads so packed in snow you couldn't see the pavement.
So much ice.
In Tennessee, first the ice, then the rain, and streets turned into ponds. Flooding is the new threat in Nashville. And east of the capital, an entire town without power. The heavy ice snapping power poles and power lines, leaving 28,000 people without electricity. Now the storm marches east to the already battered East Coast. In Virginia, the snow's starting to pile up. Some areas could see up to a foot. And in Washington, D.C., drivers trying to beat the storm, instead backed up as the snow falls around them. Lindsay Janis, ABC News, Nashville.
If only we had a little bit of that snow.
Wow, I'm telling you. Well, you know, we will get a little bit of that snow up in our mountains.
Well, a little more, I mean.
Yeah, that's just
enough to help the drought.
Yeah, I mean, that is just a mess of snow there. We will get ourselves some clouds and, yes, even a little bit of precipitation coming our way. Let's go outside right now and take a look. Live Mega Opera 7000 HD gives you a view around Southern California. We go first to our Burbank camera and the valley under cloudy skies here. A Saturday night. Getting ready for some rain to make its way into Southern California. Also through downtown LA, the cloudy skies are there as well. And the temps stay fairly mild, 60 degrees at the moment. Just barely a breeze at 3 miles per hour. And 67% slowly rising is our relative humidity, and our barometer on the rise as well, 29.90. Let me give you an idea how things look. This is great. Our Angeles National Forest camera, the time lapse at sunset today. Look at the clouds down below as the sun sets in the horizon. Oh, that's a beautiful shot. And we head towards the nighttime where now we're getting ready for this low. Here's our weather maker tracking into us. By tomorrow afternoon, we're going to see this low with this onshore flow and all this moisture, all this energy over Southern California, bringing us showers starting as early as late tonight through tomorrow morning, the afternoon, certainly during the Oscar telecast itself, and continuing into Monday as well. And then by Tuesday into Wednesday, finally that starts to clear things out for a slight break before we see another influx of clouds come in right by the end of the week. Numbers tonight down in the 40s and 50s, except for the colder spots like today, of course, Redwood and Big Bear at 38 and 30 degrees. And then looking ahead to tomorrow, the highs 60s and 50s with the clouds and those showers in place. No real huge differences in temps from the nighttime lows to the daytime highs. Now we look ahead. Here's the 7-day Power Back weather. And yes, there's rain on Oscar Sunday for LA Metro and Orange County. 63 the temp for the high, so be on the cooler side as well. We could get about a ½ inch of rain in the LA Metro Orange County area by the end of this on Monday. And then Tuesday, look how things change. Jumping to 70 degrees and staying there through the end of the week and into the weekend with a few more clouds on Friday and Saturday. Valley's Inland Empire, cloudy with showers through Monday. Could get up to 3/4 of an inch, maybe an inch of rain out of this before it's all said and done. And then the temps just jump up to the 70s on Tuesday. Stay there even as more clouds move in heading towards the weekend. For the beach areas, we're going to see cloudy conditions tomorrow. Could get about to ½ inch of rain in those beach locations by the end of Monday. And then mostly sunny skies for Tuesday. Marine layer returns Wednesday and Thursday, and temps stay in that mid-60s range into Friday and Saturday as well. Our mountain spots will be certainly storming going on there. We're talking about strong winds, 60-mile-per-hour gusts. We're talking an 1.5 inches of rain, and then snow levels about 5,000 feet. Could get up to 10 inches of snow in some of the upper elevations. And then temps rise up, sunny skies through the middle part of the week before a few clouds move in at the week's end. Temperatures in the high desert will be in the 50s and 60s through the week. There not a whole lot of rain, certainly clouds and strong gusty wind, 60 miles per hour, about a tenth of an inch out of this system coming through. And then by Tuesday, Wednesday, things clear out, but the winds stay there strong, 60 mile per hour gusts. But it's that rain tomorrow and Monday we're going to watch.
Okay. Thank you, Danny.
Yeah.
It's the first of 3 spacewalks. One of them took place today to rewire the International Space Station for new crew capsules. 2 NASA astronauts are outfitting the station with new docking ports to receive future private space taxis. The first docking port for the Boeing and SpaceX ferry ships will arrive in June. The private space taxis will ferry new crews to the orbiting lab later this decade. The second spacewalk will be Wednesday and the third next weekend.
We would like to say Gong Hei Fat Choi to our Chinese viewers. Again, I hope I said that correctly. New Year's festivities got underway today in Chinatown with the 116th Golden Dragon Parade. The new Los Angeles County Sheriff Jim McDonnell served as Grand Marshal. The executive director of the Chinese Chamber of Commerce said it is an opportunity to pass along the culture to younger generations. And of course, she said a chance to party. Up to 100,000 Angelinos were expected to turn out for all the fun.
Gas prices are on the rise.
Still ahead on Eyewitness News, how much you can expect to pay the next time you pull over to fill up.
Can a premium performance car be a compact? And can a compact car also be a premium performance car? The answer is yes. I'm car specialist Dave Coons. It's the new breed of pint-sized performers. I'll have the story coming up.
Drivers across Southern California are seeing another big spike in gas prices this weekend. In the Inland Empire, a gallon of self-serve regular jumped 4.7 cents overnight. It's more of the same in Riverside and San Bernardino counties, which have seen rising prices now for 22 days in a row. Across the state, the average price is about 16 cents higher than 1 week ago, 50 cents higher than a month ago. Experts say this week's explosion at the ExxonMobil refinery in Torrance is to blame for the price hike because the area's supply was drastically cut when the plant had to partially shut down.
Small cars with big power are growing in popularity. New models this year from Volkswagen and Audi join an increasingly broad selection of these compact performance cars, and more are on the way. Car specialist Dave Coons gives us a look.
For a number of years, you've been able to get a big helping of extra performance in an Audi with their S models. The Audi S6 is a power and handling upgrade from the A6. And now, Audi's smallest sedan has an S version too. The S3 follows the A3 introduced last year. Visually, a lot more striking, and of course, extra horses to make the driving a little more fun. Audi managed to squeeze 292 horsepower from its direct-injected, turbocharged 2-liter engine. It transforms the baby Audi into a pint-sized fun machine that can get from 0 to 60 in under 5 seconds. You can also get that same engine in the new Volkswagen Golf R. VW and Audi are corporate cousins and share lots of technology. But while the Audi S3 utilizes the traditional sedan body style, the Golf gives you the practicality of a hatchback. The Golf line, all new for this year, now offers everything from a plug-in electric right up through this hottest Golf of all. Ford's got something up its sleeve too in the powerful small car arena. Next year they'll unleash the Focus RS, promising 315 horsepower from its EcoBoost 4-cylinder engine. And of course, the one that started the 300 horsepower in a small car race was the Subaru STI, now wearing a new suit of clothes but still sticking to the road like it always has. The less performance-oriented versions of all these cars are front-wheel drive, but when you start talking serious horsepower, up to or over 300, well, that's asking a lot of the front wheels, which also have to steer the car. So these high-performance models use all-wheel drive to help get the power to the pavement. That's especially necessary with Mercedes-Benz's CLA45 AMG. 355 horsepower tops the numbers among its rivals, then again, so does the sticker price. They may be small, but they still pack a big punch, as big or bigger than many larger cars. Fuel economy stays reasonable, too. Lots of performance in tidy packages. Dave Coons, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
We are updating our top stories at 7:30.
Plus, a boat goes up in flames, the dramatic images out of Newport Beach.
And celebrities and world-class athletes team up in West LA to show their support for the Special Olympics World Games.
live from ABC7. This is Eyewitness News at 7:30 p.m. on LA56.
Our top story at 7:30, an hours-long standoff in Santa Monica ends with the suspect surrendering after LA County Sheriff's deputies send in a canine. I'm Jory Rand.
I'm Giovanna Lotta. This is Eyewitness News on LA56, LA's only live local newscast at 7:30 p.m. The suspect was holed up in an apartment on Ocean Park Boulevard near Lincoln. Homes in the area were evacuated. The man finally surrendered just before 5 p.m. Officials say the suspect is wanted for a murder investigation earlier this month.
The biggest umbrella in town is now in place. Over the red carpet, work crews at the Dolby Theater are preparing for rain on Oscar night. The Oscars are less than 24 hours away now, and the final touches are being put in place tonight. Let's check in now with Danny for a complete look at our Oscar forecast. Danny.
All right, thanks very much, Jory and Giovanna. We look outside first to our Orange County camera down there at Disneyland, California Adventure. We've got Mickey's Fun Wheel going on there. That's a great shot. But cloudy skies over the Orange County area. Clouds as well as we swing our HD camera live to Long Beach. Cloudy all around Southern California, and packed in those clouds, some precipitation making its way to Southern California. And here's the story. The temperatures are staying fairly mild because of that cloud cover. So we're seeing numbers quite nice at 52 at Wrightwood right now, 52 for Victorville, 37 though a little colder up at Big Bear, 53 for Palmdale. Then we're showing 50s through Ontario, Riverside at 58 and 57, Hemet at 53 degrees, 71 for Palm Springs, of course. It's the desert after all. 59 right now in Van Nuys and Santa Monica. Long Beach at 61 degrees. Same for Oxnard at 61 as well. The clouds move in. We're seeing some really cloudy skies getting cloudier as we go. 56 the overnight low. And then tomorrow the rain arrives. I'll tell you how much and how long it lasts when I come back with a 7-day look in just a bit. Giovanna and Jory, go ahead.
Danny, thank you. And taking a live look at Hollywood Boulevard right now, you can see last-minute preparations still in full effect. Many still crossing their fingers that tent won't be needed come tomorrow night.
Yeah, a lot of people worried over there right now. How are we going to do our hair?
I know.
What's going to happen? Meantime, many of Hollywood's biggest stars spent the day in West LA teaming up with world-class athletes. As
Eyewitness News reporter Q McCrae found out, it's all part of the events leading up to this summer's Special Olympics World Games here in Southern California.
A-list celebrities, the likes of Katie Holmes and Maria Shriver, made their way down the carpet a day before the Academy Awards, but not down the famed Oscars red carpet.
What's your preference, a gold carpet or a red carpet?
Gold, baby.
We prefer gold, yeah.
This was Gold Meets Golden, where actors, athletes, and Olympians came together to celebrate the Hollywood Awards season and the Special Olympics World Games being held in LA this July.
I've run into a couple of the athletes themselves, and this is, I mean, for them, it's one of their greatest achievements. Hundreds
packed Equinox in West LA to help the World Games support an athlete program, which raises money to assist the 7,000 athletes like Debbie Anderson pay for their stay in Southern California to compete.
The world will see that people with intellectual disabilities can do what they do.
It's fantastic to have our athletes be with Olympic athletes because I think it sends a message to people that our athletes are really amazing athletes as well as amazing human beings.
This was Gold Meets Golden's third annual event. Olympians Greg Louganis, Nadia Comaneci, Bart Connor, and former Lakers star Jamal Wilkes played hosts.
I'm so excited to see the turnout today to encourage them to continue doing the work that they do.
It might be Hollywood's biggest weekend, but these celebrities had no problem sharing the spotlight with this special group, made up of stars in their own right. In West LA, I'm Q McCrae, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
And remember, we want to see your support for this summer's 2015 Special Olympics World Games here in Los Angeles. Post your photos and video with the hashtag ReachUpLA, and also join the ABC7 Challenge as we try to raise $100,000 to support the athletes. We have more information on ABC7.com. Search Special Olympics.
Such a great event. Firefighters come to the rescue of a woman in Forest Falls. She was hiking at the top of Big Falls around 2:45 this afternoon, and somehow she fell, injuring herself. Firefighters put her on a stretcher and carried her out. She was then taken to the hospital with minor injuries. In Newport Beach, a boat fire sends one person to the hospital. These are the photos from the scene that were posted on social media today. Firefighters got the call a little after 4 this afternoon and arrived to find a 30-foot boat fully engulfed. That boat's slip is on Bayside Drive. No word on what might have sparked the fire or the condition of the person transported.
A manhunt is still on for the driver who fled after hitting a car in El Sereno. The crash happened just before 2 this morning on the 5200 block of Borland Road. Officers say the driver of the white pickup truck hit a parked car. That car was then pushed into a fire hydrant, sending water gushing out several feet high. The driver then took off. No one was injured. And in East LA, the 710 freeway is back open. The northbound lanes just north of the 5 freeway were shut down overnight because of a gas spill. Fire crews say a tanker truck carrying gasoline hit some debris in the roadway. The debris then punctured the truck's tank, causing it to spill about 60 gallons of fuel onto the freeway. Hazmat crews were able to clean up the mess before it made it into the drain.
Today, officials clean up 2 illegal homeless camps in Simi Valley. Simi Valley police say these camps have been around for about 10 years now. Officers teamed up with Waste Management for the cleanup. Last week, officials posted flyers notifying the homeless there they had 72 hours to vacate or risk being prosecuted. Officials say no one was at the camps when they arrived there today. Last July, the Simi Valley City Council unanimously approved a plan to clear out illegal camps and for the city to pay for the cleanup.
A 23-year-old man is under arrest accused of stabbing his own grandmother. The brutal attack happened last night at a home in Altadena. Deputies responded to find 77-year-old Juliet Taluzian soaked in blood on a neighbor's porch. She was rushed to the hospital where she's listed in stable condition. Authorities arrested her grandson, Alex Taluzian. He's accused of hitting her over the head with an axe handle and stabbing her several times. He now faces charges of attempted murder.
New details tonight about that alleged road rage shooting in Las Vegas. One suspect behind bars, the hunt for the other underway. And now, a new police report raises questions about whether this was really road rage after all. ABC's Candace Gibson in Las Vegas tonight.
Police in Las Vegas searching tonight for the driver of the silver Audi captured on surveillance camera the night Tammy Myers was killed little more than a week ago. Investigators say the driver and shooting suspect Eric Nausch were in that vehicle together when Myers was gunned down outside her driveway.
It shocked this community.
The 19-year-old suspect sits in this Las Vegas jail. Nausch seen here on his Instagram page smoking what looks to be marijuana. The teen's longtime neighbor telling me he's had a troubled past.
I think there have been some problems with some of the crowd he's hung around with.
According to the recently released report, authorities saying there were 2 different shooting scenes, one at this intersection and one in front of the Myers family home, where Nausch allegedly fired the fatal bullet that killed Tammy Myers. According to the report, the suspect told his friends that he got those kids. They were after me, and I got them.
We knew how bad he was, but we didn't know he was this bad.
But there are still a number of questions. Why did it take the Myers family nearly a week to tell police they knew Nausch, who just lives 1 block away? And who is this person described in this sketch released by police a week ago?
That was ABC's Candace Gibson reporting. Nausch is expected in court Monday morning. He faces 3 felony charges.
Investigators in Minneapolis say a police officer was shot apparently for just being a police officer. The shooting happened around 5 a.m. Minnesota time. Authorities say the officer and his partner had finished responding to a burglary call and were standing outside their cruiser when he was shot. The officer's partner drove him to a hospital. The officer is listed in satisfactory but stable condition. Police have arrested a suspect.
A dramatic rescue of 3 firefighters in Michigan. They were battling a 2-story house fire in Gladwin County when the upper floor collapsed. The firefighters fell all the way down into the basement and were burned under the debris. Flames, smoke, and water were all around them. Fellow firefighters worked for about an hour to dig them out and pull them out of that basement. Miraculously, they will be okay. The chief says if the 3 firefighters hadn't had their self-contained breathing apparatus, they could have suffocated.
The happiest place on earth is about to get a little more expensive. How much you can expect to pay on your next trip to Disneyland.
Plus, fighting deadly superbugs, what hospitals are doing to keep patients safe.
It's the battle against superbugs. Tonight we're learning of several new confirmed cases.
Yeah, really scary stuff. Hospitals are stepping up how they clean medical devices after 2 people died here in Southern California. But is that enough to stop this bug that kills 23,000 Americans each year? ABC's Aditi Roy has the latest.
Tonight, 3 new cases of a superbug confirmed in North Carolina. Officials with Carolina's health system saying 2 of the patients came to this Charlotte area hospital already infected with the antibiotic-resistant bug called CRE. Another patient was infected somewhere in the hospital. It's unclear how. Antibiotic-resistant superbugs can spread by contaminated equipment or simple human contact, even doctors' ties or hospital surfaces like walls or beds, which is why hospitals across the country are trying new ways to fight an invisible enemy. Like using robots sterilizing a room with a UV light. The latest cases follow a CRE outbreak at UCLA's medical center this week after officials say the superbug spread by endoscopes contaminated from past procedures. Officials at the North Carolina hospital say all of their endoscopes tested negative for CRE. Every year, 500,000 Americans get procedures using scopes. Their intricate parts can make them hard to clean. UCLA is now stepping up its sanitation process, going beyond standard guidelines. At the University of Pittsburgh, they sterilize the devices for 18 hours using a special gas. The FDA says it's studying solutions, but some argue that's not enough.
So we need better regulation, we need more education, and we need better drugs to fight these resistant bacteria.
That was ABC's Aditi Roy reporting. By the way, at UCLA, officials say they've sent out 179 letters to patients who were exposed to this superbug, and now it's just a waiting game.
That's scary. Still ahead, we'll check back in with Danny Romero for a complete look at the weather forecast.
And coming up in sports, a terrible break for one of NASCAR's most recognizable drivers. Find out why Kyle Busch is joining his brother Kurt out of the Daytona 500.
It is true. Danny Romero says it will rain tomorrow.
Yes, I mean, so have the umbrellas ready. Plan on it to happen. So any plans you had outdoors tomorrow, yes, that includes the Oscars. Well, guess what? Rain coming down. Let's go outside. I'll take a couple of views around Southern California. We got our camera HD going, pointed at Laguna Beach right now, and their clouds are already moving in. That marine layer is certainly thick. But beyond that, some good rain clouds are setting up over the coastal areas where we should see some pretty good rain amounts before it's all said and done. Now to inland we go. Our Burbank camera, cloudy skies through the valley as well here on a Saturday. And downtown, look at that. Pretty much all clouded over here in the Saturday night, evening hours. 60 degrees our temperature currently with variable winds, just like the breeze of 3 miles per hour. 67% relative humidity. And today the temps right where they should be, 69 degrees. Sunrise tomorrow at 6:30 to get your Oscars Sunday going. And here's what's happening. Kind of an interesting little weather phenomenon for us. Usually our weather tracks west to east. Tonight, we're dealing with this, what's called a retrograde with this low that was east, now dropping back to us, spinning off and bringing us some moisture. Now, more moisture is in the air already. Normally, these lows that come backwards like this will be kind of dry. But because there's so much moisture in the air already with that marine layer and the cloud cover I showed you, it's going to bring in some rain with this, starting as early as late tonight into tomorrow. And certainly right about the afternoon Oscar broadcast time will be when the rain really gets going, and then continuing into Monday as well. Here's the numbers tonight, 50s and 40s most spots because of the rain and the clouds. Daytime numbers, not much different. We're showing 50s and 60s for the highs there. But as we look ahead to the 7-day power back, whether we can show you the numbers will change a little bit. But first, it's the rain for LA Metro and Orange County. Cloudy and showers could get a half an inch of rain before it's all done by Monday. But then look at Tuesday, jumping up to 70 degrees and taking that through into the weekend. For the valleys and the Inland Empire, cool conditions, showers again, could get up to 3/4 of an inch from this rain system by the end of Monday and Tuesday. Things clear out, temps jump up to the 70s and stay in that low 70s range. Even with morning clouds, it's still afternoon sunshine and 70s for the highs on Wednesday and Thursday. A little more cloud cover on Friday and Saturday. Beaches will be cloudy with those showers coming through. Rain about a half an inch or so in those coastal areas. And then it clears out by Tuesday and into Wednesday and Thursday. Some morning clouds, but afternoon sunshine. But temps stay in that mid-60s range for the coastal spots. A little cloudier come next weekend. For the mountains, we're going to see 1.5 inches of rain. Gusty winds there, 60-mile-per-hour gusts. Could get up to 10 inches of snow in some of the upper elevations. And the snow level will drop down to around 5,000 feet before it's all said and done. And then just Tuesday, things change. Temps jump up to the 40s and the 50s. The winds continue to gust in that 60-mile-per-hour range. And windy, too, for the high desert. 50, 60-mile-per-hour gusts with the winds through the first part of the week. And the showers there, not as big a rain event for the desert areas. Maybe 1/10 of an inch of rain with this system, and that's done by Monday as well. But the winds continue and the cool temps continue into next week as well. So have the umbrella ready. You need it tomorrow.
And the jackets.
And yes, absolutely.
Kate, mentioning jackets, some good outdoor hockey weather.
I love this outdoor hockey.
It's great.
Thank you. He is Mr. Hockey. Played in college.
He is.
The Stadium Series resumes. Remember last year was at Dodger Stadium, Kings and Ducks? Well, the Kings are with the Sharks outdoors in Santa Clara tonight where it's partly cloudy and in the mid-50s. Is that okay on the weather report? What matters most is the Kings, winners of 6 straight, are now just 2 points out of that 8th and final playoff spot in the West. The Ducks in frozen Edmonton tonight, but they scorched the Oilers 45 seconds in. The ice is still wet when they score, courtesy of Francois Beauchemin. But Edmonton answers. Yes, the ice is still wet to start the second. That's 28 seconds, and really the only one John Gibson gave up tonight. The Ducks lead the Pacific, and they took advantage on this miscue by Edmonton. Yes, the captain gets that one. Ryan Getzlaf pokes it in, and the Ducks win for the second straight night, 2-1, your final. From the ice to the greens, Riviera, 3rd round of the Northern Trust Open. The back 9 is something Ryan Moore isn't going to forget anytime soon. Case in point, look at his tee shot on the 10th. It's going in for the double eagle. How about this? So close, and when I say yet so far, I mean far. Look at how far it rolls off the green and into the short fringe. If you think that's brutal, look at his shot on the par 3 16th. Hits the stick. And then caroms right back into the rough. Just didn't have it today. He is 1 back with a 72, 4 back, and he's back of Retief Goosen, the pride of South Africa. And that is in for a beautiful birdie on 16. He shot a 69 today. He carries a 2-shot lead going into tomorrow's final round. Finally, on to Daytona. The final 29 laps of the Xfinity 300 was full of sheet metal. Just ask Reagan Smith, who's on his roof, and this held up the race for a good 40 minutes. Smith will drive for the suspended Kurt Busch. Eric Jones then gets turned in front of his brother Kyle. Busch on the extreme left hammers the wall at full speed there, that inside wall. He's out of the Daytona 500 with a compound fracture to his leg. And a great afternoon for Ryan Reed out of Bakersfield. He held off his teammate to win his first ever major NASCAR race. Jeff Gordon holds the pole for tomorrow's Daytona 500. And coming up on Eyewitness News 11, you've got to see Shaun White out of Pasadena with snow.
Yeah, we have outdoor hockey and outdoor snowboarding.
Love that.
Great stuff. Thanks, Kurt. Starting tomorrow, the happiest place on earth will be more expensive. ABC7's parent company Disney says it's raising ticket prices at the Disneyland Resort in Anaheim and Walt Disney World in Florida. Ticket prices for an adult one-day ticket to either park are going up from $96 to $99. Tickets for children age 3 to 9 will jump from $90 to $93, and the price for a premium annual pass with parking and no blackout dates will rise from $699 to $779.
New tonight on Eyewitness News at 11 on ABC7. On his honeymoon, then he falls down a cliff and gets stuck in a tree. The dramatic rescue in Sri Lanka. And it's the biggest party after the Oscars. From the food to the music, we'll have a sneak peek at the Governor's Ball. Those stories and all the late-breaking news on Southern California's #1 newscast. That's Eyewitness News at 11 on ABC7.
And still ahead here on Eyewitness News at 7, we continue our countdown to the Oscars.
What we can expect during Jimmy Kimmel's Oscar special. The 30th Annual Film Independent Spirit Awards were held in Santa Monica today. Birdman took home the prize for Best Feature, and there was a heartfelt acceptance speech from the film's director, Alejandro Iñárritu.
It's an honor. It's truly, truly an honor to receive this award more than anything. I think all these films were an act of love, and I feel so proud and so emotional to be here tonight with you, really. And
the star of Birdman, Michael Keaton, won for Best Male Lead. Julianne Moore won for Best Female Lead for her role in Still Alice. Other big winners, J.K. Simmons, Best Supporting Male for Whiplash. Best Supporting Female went to Patricia Arquette for Boyhood. Richard Linklater won Best Director for Boyhood, and Best Screenplay went to Dan Gilroy for Nightcrawler.
And as we continue the countdown to Oscar Sunday, Jimmy Kimmel is celebrating a special milestone this weekend.
Tomorrow marks his 10th post-Oscar special. Eyewitness News reporter George Pinocchio has a preview.
All I'll say is I'm beating Sean Penn over the head with a pool noodle.
For the 10th year, Jimmy Kimmel is dusting off his tuxedo for Oscar Sunday and producing a star-filled show that pushes the comedy envelope. One of this year's sketches involves Jimmy tackling a new career.
Eddie, repeat after me.
Hello, I'm a fancy British man.
Well, the idea of our comedy bit is I am the acting coach to the stars. So the Kimmel School of Perfect Acting, and I teach people like Eddie Redmayne and Susan Sarandon and Jeff Bridges and Jennifer Aniston and Sean Penn how to act.
One thing Jimmy is very excited about, interviewing one of his childhood favorites.
John Travolta, when I was a kid, John Travolta was as exciting as a guy. I mean, I have the original Lunchbox art. You've probably seen it up in my office for Welcome Back, Kotter. So, it's a big deal for me.
Jimmy also let me know I'd have a red carpet rival on Oscar Sunday. He's sending Guillermo out to hobnob with the stars.
I think Guillermo is more popular than I am. I mean, everyone stops for Guillermo. I mean, how can you not? He's so adorable, and he's there, and he usually has tequila.
George Pinocchio, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Well, Oscar Sunday shares its day with a popular drink. Tomorrow is National Margarita Day, and to celebrate, several restaurant chains are offering deals on margaritas this weekend. On the Border gives you a 12-ounce margarita for just $2, while Tony Roma's is selling their house margarita for $2.22 today. Get it? It's the date. Not that you really need a reason to drink up this frozen treat, but you now have one. You may also want to check your local eateries for National Margarita Day specials, and I'm sure there are a lot of recipes out there and wild concoctions.
For sure. Thanks for joining us for Eyewitness News at 7 here on LA56.
Eyewitness News continues at 11 p.m. on ABC7. Anytime, ABC7.com. Remember, you can get your news 24 hours a day on our ABC7 Facebook and Twitter pages. Good night.